I wish I could just call everybody on this channel, every subscriber, Trekkies, and we made this a Star Trek just dedicated channel. I just don't know if that'll happen. I don't know if there's enough content to put out there. But after the last video, I read every single comment on that video. Trust me, I got the message. You guys don't want another repetitive warp drive origin on Earth story. We already saw that in First Contact and Enterprise. I get it. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today we talk about the Star Trek reboot. The origin story reboot, the latest leaks, the rumors, theories, any confirmations. We're going to cut through the noise here. We're going to talk about the new Trek origin movie. And here's the kicker. Later on, we're going to dive into a twist, something that could possibly reshape the entire Trek movie universe as you and I know it. Is that good or bad? I'll kind of let you guys decide. Drop a like and make sure you're subscribed as always. And let's start off, as we always do, with what we know. And I have to say again, every time we put up a Star Trek video, you guys go absolutely bonkers in the comment section. It's crazy. It really is. Now, Paramount, they've officially announced a new Star Trek film, an untitled origin story directed by Andor's Toby Haynes, written by Seth Grahame-Smith, and produced by none other than J.J. Abrams. The studio revealed this at CinemaCon 2024. They aim for a 2025 release, and obviously that didn't happen. Now, this movie is set decades before 2009 Star Trek. Think well before Kirk's Enterprise, which strongly implies a completely new setting and cast. So in other words, our favorite Kelvin timeline crew, Pine, Quinto, Saldana, all of them, they're not going to be on the bridge here, but we'll talk about Star Trek 4 in an upcoming video. I actually have some new information to share with you guys on that one too in the Kelvin timeline. We're not there yet. Back in early 2024, the studio had a script in the works for the fourth Kelvin movie with Steve Yawkey writing, but as late 2025 reports, is kind of in trouble. Paramount has moved on at the moment from Pine and crew, but that's not to say that it's completely dead. Like I said, that's a video for another day. So back on track. Today's video is sponsored by the Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin. The new trailer just dropped, so we are going to react to it together. All right, here we go. Anytime it's anything medieval, I'm looking for a couple things. Does it feel big budget, cinematic? Are the battle sequences epic? And just out of the gate, it looks like that's what they went for and that's what they achieved here. Are the costumes, the sets, everything authentic to the time? And we're talking Arthurian legend here. We're talking King Arthur on his rise. We're talking a young Merlin. I absolutely love these stories. It looks legit. Everything looks epic and cinematic like it would be on the big screen. Got to have good battle sequences. Okay, all right, the quality is there. I'm in. Anything with Arthur and Merlin, count me in. The Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin premieres exclusively on Daily Wire Plus January 22nd, 2026. Click the link below to go watch the full trailer. When and where would this origin reboot story take place? Well, the official wording is vague. Decades before 2009. But that likely means around the late 2200s, right? Even earlier. It leaves a huge gap in Trek lore after the founding of the United Federation of Planets, which was, 2161, before Captain Pike's Enterprise, circa 2250s, and there's almost a century of history here to be able to tell stories. That period includes some really big historical events in this universe. For example, the Earth-Romulan War, which was 2156 to 2160, was a massive conflict against the Romulan Empire. And it was only hinted on screen so far. In lore, that war concluded with Earth and its allies defeating the Romulans and creating the neutral zone. Now, interestingly, an old script called Star Trek The Beginning actually depicted the very war. So we might actually see those battles on screen. Other big moments is the early founding of Starfleet, the first warp-capable ships, the birth of the Federation. There was a rumor out there via The Hollywood Reporter that suggested the movie could feature humanity's first contact with an alien race, basically covering the same ground as First Contact. And I know, I read your comments, that did not thrill any of you. But everything we've heard officially points to a 22nd century story instead. So you tell me, how does that roll down the pipes? How does that feel? How does that sit with you so far? Now, there's a lot of unknown, but we've got some, I kind of put together a little list of the biggest rumors out there. The Earth-Romulan War. So think the movie will finally show the Romulan War. It shaped the galaxy, established the neutral zone, which we've had referenced 1,000 million times, and it paved the way for the Federation. Yet, it's never actually been seen on screen. Snippets of it in TV shows and stuff. So imagine huge starships battling Romulan drones. I mean, you got some big stuff. Next one, Federation and Starfleet origins. Maybe this movie might dramatize how Starfleet and the Federation were formed. We could see Earth building its first Warp 7 starship or advanced vessel of that kind, or Admiral Robert April handing the first USS Enterprise to Captain Pike. Maybe we'll meet Admiral Forrest or even a young Jonathan Archer. That would be a really clever bridge to Enterprise now, wouldn't it? Or we could go Strange New World tie-in. Given how popular Strange New Worlds is, some people think that cameos could tie in. Could we see Pike, our young Pike, young Spock? I mean, could in a scene. Characters like Kelvin, Officer Himmer, I mean, all of them, they're ancestors that are in Star Trek lore. I'm sure we could see a cameo. Then there's Section 31, which is a hot take, and I really don't even want to talk about it because nobody on my channel likes me talking about it. So we're going to move on. The last one is a completely new timeline. The third reboot. Yeah, actually the start of an entirely new Trek timeline. Think Star Trek Year 1. Kelvin Movies started a new timeline in 2009. So some fans say Paramount might want a clean slate reboot again, and the idea would be introduce brand new characters, settings, in the era, then launch a trilogy of films around them. So picture Kelvin-like visuals, Kelvin-like action, but storylines free from the prime canon constraints. We'll talk about that more in a second. Now, none of these ideas are confirmed. They're all speculation, but each one is interesting. No matter which one is true, sounds like the movie won't just be a retread First Contact, which I think a lot of you are going to be happy about. One reporter noted a modern era First Contact story would be absolutely repetitive for Trek. So I think we're going to get something that honors canon, but maybe surprises us. Now, I know a lot of you love the Chris Pine, Carl Urban crew, myself included. So let's really quickly talk about Star Trek, guys, because it's going to come up in the comment section. The Kelvin timeline movie. The new origin film is completely separate from that. And Paramount reportedly had Steve Yockey penning a script for the Kirk Spock story, but recent news, it suggests that Star Trek 4 is kind of dead in the water at the moment. One insider actually said the studio's moved on from bringing back Chris Pine and the rest of the ensemble. So in practical terms, that means the Pine era may not come back for Trek 4, but once again, like I said, I have enough to make a video on that. So let's talk about the big picture here. I mean, what excites me is the origin story movie could be the seed for a whole new Star Trek cinematic universe. So think about how the 2009 Star Trek reboot launched its own series of films. This could be similar. A third reboot that merges the best of old and new. In fact, Variety reported that Paramount's plan to have a fresh Star Trek movie with new characters was real. Rumors in late 2025 right now even say screenwriters Jonathan Goldston and John Francis Daley, who worked on Spider-Man Homecoming, are now attached to a Trek movie. So the implication's clear here. Paramount may be looking to build a new trilogy or a new series around this new continuity while leaving the other existing timelines separate. So what would that actually look like? Possibly multi-film saga, cross-media tie-ins, focus on never-before-seen heroes, conflicts, aesthetic nods to the slick Kelvin style, which was the big CGI battles, lens flares, all that stuff. I mean, storytelling be grounded like in the prime timeline spirit. We could get it. We could get long-form storytelling over several movies. Example, movie 1, the origin story, sets up the big war. Movie 2 follows Section 31, the fallout. Movie 3 explores Klingon and unknown threats. You could have synergy with the TV shows. You could do all of it. Now, I know it's reaching and it's all hypothetical. The only concrete hint we have is that Paramount seems to be ready to try something entirely new. So if the fans embrace an origin story and the characters and we don't do First Contact again, we could be on the cusp of a brand new era of Trek films, which for me, like I said, put it in front of me, I'm going to digest it. So I'm all for it, to be honest with you. New origin film, brand new Star Trek movie, directed by Toby Haynes, decades before the 2009 reboot. Timeline, probably early 22nd century stuff. Think early Starfleet and Federation era. Key events, Earth-Romulan War, founding of the Federation. We could see all that actually on screen. I'll tell you what we won't see. We won't see the Kelvin crew, Kirk, Spock, or any of them appear in it. They're not going to be in it. So we are in complete speculation mode right now, but things are actually shaping up and looking pretty good. I'll keep you guys posted if we get anything new, and I hope you have a good day.